Wonder Woman issue 24, legacy number 824. This is Tom King writing with Daniel Sampeere on the art. So, we ended last issue with Wonder Woman getting to the Mouse Island and confronting this girl that we'd been following for the issue. And, of course, hearing Mouse Man knows, mice have ears over and over and over again. Here we pick up with her kind of freaking out, Wonder Woman hugging her, which is kind of sweet. But what's more interesting here is we get kind of like the command center of Mouse Man's military, or whatever you want to call it, who are allowed to say more things, because one of the things Wonder Woman says to the girl is like, is this all you can say, or is this all you're allowed to say? Like, because there is a distinct difference in like that. And I think clearly what we get from these like generals and stuff is that they are allowed to say more. They're level 2, I think they say at one point, so they're allowed to say more things. Not everything, but more things.
Right, and the closer they get to Mouse Man, right, the more free they can speak.
Yeah, because we get up the ranks,
Yep. So as we get to the point where we see Mouse Man finally at the end, they're having full sentence conversations. It's not just the Mouse Man knows.
Even the next person down like the list from Mouse Man still isn't allowed to say one particular phrase, which is Wonder Woman. And that's the cliffhanger, is it's, I'm not allowed to say who's here. And he's like, Wonder Woman. It's like, so him realizing that Wonder Woman's on his island is the last beat of the book. No, I mean, I had a pretty good time. I'm kind of digging just like Diana exploring this kind of weird place and like learning the rules of it. But I think her kind of bonding with this character that she can't really speak to properly is quite sweet, because, you know, like there's that whole bit where she's trying to like sort of point to where she lives, and she's like, mice have ears, and she points, or Mouse Man knows this way, and the girl's like, mice have ears, and points that way. She's like, mice have ears. It's starting to make sense to me.
Yeah, and the way that Sampeere draws that, right, the body language is perfect. You almost don't need that. Those are almost like a bonus tag. And then when it gets to the last where Diana says Mouse Man knows, she has this big smile on her face. So yeah, just Sampeere is really working. We get the big giant mice pulling the cars. So it's like, you know, what is going on this island where it seems like they have this full-on police state that has all this tech, but they have mice pulling cars like chariots. So there's definitely like this separation that's going on here.
It could be a control thing, could be a number of things. Sure. Yeah, because I mean, obviously we can't ignore the fact that all of the people in like the military, or whatever you want to call it, for Mouse Man, like, you know, it's basically like someone took what people wear at Disneyland, right? Filthy Disney adults like yourself, and they combined it with Nazi uniforms, and that's what these guys are wearing. Like, that's the combination.
Well, they're the ears from the Mouse Man costume, right? Which do look like the Mickey ears, and whatever, and stuff. And then like even the everyday people that live there, like the girl, you know, she has her hair in buns that look like mouse ears. You know, so there's a definite, like you said, what they're allowed to do and what they're not allowed to do. There's a control aspect here, you know, that shouldn't come as a surprise for this authoritarian place.
Yeah, honestly, it was kind of a shock when it went to the page after Wonder Woman punches the big mouse that jumps out at them, and we go to like the sort of the command room, and there's like couple of level 4 like officers, and like I almost like just kind of like read the dialogue in like a haze, not even realizing it wasn't saying Mouse Man knows, mice have ears, and then I was like, oh wait, no, they're saying actual words. Hold on a second, like I need to go back and like read this properly. So, but that said though, it's still kind of interesting because they keep saying things like, no, Mouse Man is smart, Mouse Man is handsome, Mouse Man is a winner. I'm like, someone's got a big ego and wants everyone to tell him how great he is.
Reading this in the country in which I live, there's definitely some parallels.
Oh yeah, I was definitely thinking of a certain tweeting.
Yep.
Yeah.
And again, should come as no surprise to authoritarian wannabes that this is their idea of a good society.
Oh, for sure. So, you know, and we also see they've got like a giant like mouse and a wheel powering things. Like that's how they're getting some electricity. But
that was a good joke. I do have to say I chuckled at that.
Yeah, but they figured out who the girl is, and they've got people waiting at her place with her mother kind of at gunpoint. So Wonder Woman comes in and they fire a shot, and it almost, she has to like shield her baby. She has to steal Lizzie from it, and she's like unwise, and then just charges whilst holding her baby. The art here is phenomenal. The flashes are red when the gunfire goes off, but the background changes to just strong red, and then it's her jumping around, kicking these bad guys, hitting them in the face with their guns. Just a nice time. There's a nice big full page spread, more or less, of her throwing her tiara, and you can sort of see the lines that it makes around the entire room in this bird's eye kind of view. Just really fun stuff. Like Sampere, like he nails the emotional and the character like facial expressions, but he also just nails really cool, pretty action sequences. So really, really cool. And she ends up, because it's the end of this scene where she screams, "Okay, I've heard this too many times now. What does Mouse Man know?" And by this point, she's got like blood, like going down like one part of her face. Maybe not her blood, maybe it's some of the guy's blood. But it's very Kratos from God of War. It's very kind of like warrior of vengeance kind of look to her. But
I was
gonna say, it does beg the question though. What is this thing they're all saying he knows? Like, it is a good, valid question to ask. What does he know?
So the blood came from her. She got grazed with, I think, a bullet. Because she has her tiara off because she was using it.
That's right.
Yeah, she was using it as the weapon. And then that's where she's holding the baby. She says, "What does Mouse Man know?" But no, it just gives her this warrior vibe that we haven't really gotten up to this point. Because she has the blood streaming down her face. She's not wearing her tiara. She's got the kind of battle garb on, So yeah, it definitely gives her a different vibe than what we've had.
Yeah, it's funny because I saw some complaints online saying, "Oh, regular bullets hurt Wonder Woman. We keep going back and forth in this," and it just sort of like illuminates to me like the type of comic book reader I am versus some others where I'm like, I do not care. like in this right now, as far as the current like team is concerned, yes, a regular bullet, at least I don't know what caliber it is, but yes, it can make her bleed, right? Like, she's not Superman. They don't just bounce off her. Like, I'll say it this way. There's a reason why she has to block them with her wrists, with the bracelets, right?
Right.
She's not doing that because it's cool. She's not doing that because it'll look flashy. She's doing that because the bullets hitting her skin will at least cause some damage. Maybe not kill her, but they'll do something.
No, it'll hurt her. And here, if she was wearing her tiara, right, it just would have grazed off of it. She wouldn't be bleeding, right? You got to think that the Themyscirian metal or whatever deflects bullets. Like, that's just what we've seen with the bracers. So
don't get me wrong. I get that Wonder Woman's a lot more like up and down with the rules of like how invulnerable is she versus, because Superman is always bulletproof, right? Batman is never bulletproof, barring any like weird supernatural reason, in a random story. But whereas Wonder Woman, I feel like can she fly? Can't she? How much can she take from bullets? And like, I feel like that does change a bit with Wonder Woman depending on who's writing her. It's a lot more all over the place. But it's always like that. This is not just a new problem in this run. Like, that's always been a thing, is that Wonder Woman, like, they've never nailed down exactly like the levels of this, So I'm just saying, don't worry about it, is all I'm saying. It's fine.
Well, like you, in the case of the story, it's the point that she is vulnerable, right? Like, this is not a place where she can just steamroll into Mouse Man's lair. Like she did in the Capitol building in the story that set this all up, right? What was that in Wonder Woman 20? So we're setting the point that she can be vulnerable. She does have to be careful. She's watching out for her kid and this girl and all this other stuff. And again, it makes for a badass visual too with her. It's almost like in wrestling when they run the blade, right? And they get the crimson mask coming down. It's a storytelling technique. And here I think that it works really well.
Yeah, it's just not something that bothers me. And like, when I see someone saying this ruins the issue for them, I just don't get it. Like, really this? I don't know. But anyway, then it's the final page where the level 2 guy is telling Mouse Man, as Mouse Man's doing pull-ups, so he's in good shape. Mouse Man's been working out,
It's
but
toxic masculinity. He has show muscles, and there's a TRX thing behind him. There's this, and he's doing pull-ups for what reason? I don't know. But he's got to look sweaty and glistening, and his muscles got to pop.
it's funny you say that, because the guy that's like telling him this is wearing what looks like a gas mask. So when you said toxic, I was like, yeah, maybe he's literally wearing a toxic masculinity mask.
That is. But yeah, no, he's got to look cool. He's got to look like a shock trooper. So yeah, no, it's making Mouse Man seem more interesting. Like, I don't know if it's gonna pay off, but just the idea that he's running this totalitarian state on this island, what does he know? Like you had mentioned, like what is the source of his power here?
Yeah. What's giving him the control of everyone, other than just men with guns, which it might be mainly that, but like clearly there's something else here. Yeah, I mean, like, I don't know if this is going to turn Mouseman into a recurring villain again, but like, I'm cool with writers like taking like someone from the Silver Age or Bronze Age, whatever era this guy comes from, and trying to like do something interesting and update them for a modern time. Like at the very least, like, I'm going to remember this version of Mouseman. It's going to stick in my memory. The only real critique is it's like, it's not hitting the highs of the first like 19 issue arc yet, because that stuff was so heavy with the build up to the daughter being born, with Steve's death, everything that went on during that. But like, I have no doubt we're going to get to more of that. I mean, because even in this issue, it teases a couple of times where, hey, one stray bullet might hit the baby, and that's like, adding this layer of tension to some of the fights. So excited to see where we're going with the rest of this. I know there was a news article I saw when I was looking for news, which honestly, it's more just a spoiler for the next issue than it is news. But they are interested in a new villain, I think, next issue. So we'll see how that. Probably someone who works for Mouseman, I would assume. But a guess. Just a guess. Anyway, still loving this run. I think that it's keeping me engaged. I think the art's really pretty for a start, but it's really good at just sort of getting these ideas across. And I'm like, there's always a chance that if this runs a long time, that it'll eventually go the same way as Batman run did, where eventually it will sort of like go down a corner that I don't like, and I won't be into the back end of it. But so far, I've seen no signs of that for his Wonder Woman. I've been having a great time.
Yeah, we're not reading this with our guards up.
No. And I would say that first 19 issue arc is better than any of the arcs in his Batman run. And I liked his Batman run up until a point, but I do think that he has gotten better since then. So
so my high point for his Batman run was that Mr. Freeze arc with the Batman on the jury. And I don't think there's anything in the Wonder Woman run that isn't better than that. So
sure.
But yeah,
outside of the fill-ins with the Gillen March art. Just FYI.
I was gonna add that addendum too, but I figured you were gonna do that. So, but no, this is engaging. I'm very, I want to know what Mouseman knows. I want to know there's these things here at play, because it feels like Mouseman should be a joke, and why isn't he a joke?
Hey,
at this point,
Tom King's the man that brought back Darkseid. He's the man that brought his Kite Man, hell yeah, and made that mean something. Yeah. I don't think it's out of the realm of possibility that Mouseman knows is going to feel like a phrase that we might remember for a while if it lands.
Yeah.
So, what are you giving Wonder Woman 24, Matt?
I give them it was an 8.5.
Yeah, I'm kind of debating between the 8 and the 8.5. I think I'm going to agree with the 8.5. Wonder Woman has just been one of the books that I've been enjoying the most for the last like two years at this point. It's issue 24, so this is now 2 years running that he's been going. Yeah. And outside of a couple of those fill-ins that were obviously a bit of a downer, it's been nothing but just exciting ongoing comic book stuff for me. But I obviously, I don't get me wrong, I get why some people like just have tastes and they just don't like the way King writes, or they don't like kind of the style of story that he's doing with Wonder Woman. That's fine, but like, it's clicking with me, and as someone who's really fallen in love with a lot of his 12-issue series over the last like 5 years, this has been kind of like touching on the quality of some of those in numerous points, and that's delightful to get in an ongoing book. So
For sure.
Really like the overall atmosphere that he brings to some of this stuff.